MSU, Brandon, he goes to a school near you in the city of Detroit and surrounding areas. So, I understand that MSU is doing a real push for international students, so you're in Hamtramck too, right?
No. My territory, I have Detroit proper, so I have DPS, I have the Educational Achievement Authority schools, those schools that were formerly DPS that are now taken over by the state.
Okay.
I have the Detroit area charter, so like University Prep Academy, Science and Math, YS Academy, Detroit Public School for Excellence, over on Mac and St. Albany, right behind the Eastern Market District. Then I have Downriver. So I go
Downriver.
I go to Wayne, Westland, Romulus, Belleville, Highland Park, Lincoln Park, and then I have out-of-state territory in Chicago, D.C., Maryland, Virginia area, and half of Ohio. So there's a lot of places I go.
Wow.
They got to be split. So.
Wow, you getting it in.
Yes, sir.
I mean, a lot of people, a lot of young talent.
Yes, sir. The building was put there for us to have an actual physical presence in the city.
Okay.
Some of our trustees and some of our initiatives that we have on campus, like our Office of Supportive Services,
Right.
the Office of Cultural Awareness and Academic Transitions, and just a lot of our multicultural and diversity recruitment felt like that we needed a physical presence in order to attract more students from this area.
Okay.
Because as you know, a lot of universities get students from the Detroit area, and it's not so much the issue of getting the students to apply, it's the issue of retention.
Okay.
And whether or not you can maintain those students over the 4-year period or 5-year period, actually with them matriculating through graduation. And so our answer to that was the founding and creation of the Detroit office. Now, we had it loosely prior to me starting. I think the actual physical presence dates back to like 2001, 2002. But it was a small little office that used to be in the school center building where Detroit Public Schools used to be formerly located.
Right.
Not too far from, I believe, from Woodward and Warren.
Okay.
And then we moved from there to the new Center 1 building, and that's when I started. That was about maybe 3 or 4 years later. And then we moved from there to our downtown location.
So obviously, the strategy's working.
Yes.
Okay. So now you're at Woodward. Is that Midtown?
I don't know. We always had a debate. I was considered downtown because we just literally over the I-75 bridge. Okay. So right before you get to Fox Theater and Comerica Park. Okay. Like literally right there. Okay. So it's all like a block and a half, maybe 2 blocks of that.
This has the numbers changed dramatically? Have you got an uptick in minorities being able to go to Michigan State since you've been there?
Yeah, absolutely. Just in general, since I took over the position of being one of the lead counselors in the office, the recruitment numbers have graduated in terms of increased every year. Okay. And so when I first started, the territory might have been a pool of where we might have had just under 1,000 applicants, and now we get over 3,000 applications. Okay. That come from the Detroit area alone, and then of that we enroll about 25 to 30% of those students every year.
Oh, those are good numbers.
Yeah, so it's growing, and a lot of that is due to the initiatives that we do. Like I spend pretty much 60 to 70% of my time actually in the community, actually in the schools. So I just don't do what we call a macro sanction. That's our charter organization. It's the Michigan Association for College Counselors and Recruiters for the state of Michigan. So all the 15 major public universities and colleges all participate. A few of the private colleges, community colleges, as well as some of the vocational schools and programs are all chartered under that. So it's like our union. So whenever we have meetings or decide, what venue should be allowed to have a fair or have it sanctioned or who are going to be the players as far as helping promote it and sponsor it, it all has to go through macro. Okay. So if you ever hear of a college recruiter or anybody from the admissions or enrollment services side of a university say, well, is your program macro sanctioned? Wow. That's what that means. Okay, that means you got collective ideas and collective intellectual capital to help move this community forward. Right. So now, if the parents get involved with the kids and give them support, there's really no reason for that child not to be in school, not to be in college then. Well, it's a quadruple head monster. I used to say it's a triple head monster. I say quadruple head monster. Okay. Because it's definitely the college's responsibility to invest into the recruitment efforts in the community by making a personal touch. Because just being honest, when you're dealing with people of color, you got to go beyond just the same song and dance of me mailing you material in the mail, me sending you email alerts about what's going on our campus, and just doing what's popular now and trendy, which is the social media marketing. Okay. You still have to come into the school, do the school visit, Make
do
a
the college
relationship.
fair, you still got to make that personal touch. So that's one piece. Then for the school district and the actual school department, they need to actually have a team of staff that are set up to handle the college application process. Because you got counselors who are assigned to do it, but counselors have to deal with emotional issues, academic scheduling. They also have to deal with retention to some extent at the school, especially if you're talking about one of the premier districts in the area, which is the DPS.
Right.
You know, counselors have 3 or 4 different hats they have to wear, and they have a caseload of 600 students.
Right.
So when I come in talking college processing, I may have to sit for 30, 40 minutes before I can even get to.
Right, you got to have some patience.
Right. Okay. So it's the school, it's the college, it's the parent, and it's also the community. Because with the parents, depending on what type of parent it is, and just from the students I deal with, most parents work.
Right.
And they work more than one job, so it's very hard for them to come to the school and attend parent nights. It's very hard for them to come to the school and attend financial aid sessions. So a lot of times they be out of the loop with the information, and they're depending on their student to communicate to them about what's going on. So that's why I said it's a quadruple head monster, because all those moving parts have to be able to work together in order for the student to have a successful college application process, a successful decision-making process when it comes to deciding where they want to go. I mean, at the end of the day, every student's not fortunate to get scholarships and a great financial aid package. To some extent, they're going to be responsible for paying for their education.
Right.
And why pay for something if you're not going to get the best value for your dollar?
We're going to take a break, and then when we come back, you've shared a lot of added value, but we want to dig deep and see, give us some key things when we come back. What can parents do to help prepare their children for school so then their child could be successful? And you could be successful too in our community. MSU, Detroit, urban area.
Yes, sir.
Multicultural.
Yes, sir.
You get them in.
Yes, sir.
So, the added value. How does this change things in our community? Let's talk about that.
Well, the presence of the building in terms of what we do for the community is when we invite people to come in and use the facility. So we frequently rent out space for people to come into the facility and use it for different things. So we are part of the breast cancer walk that takes place every year. We're a part of the Thanksgiving Day parade that takes place every year. We also do the HIV and AIDS awareness every year. And so we let our facility be used, for all of those major programs. Noel night that happens downtown.
Right.
So we're very active in the community. And outside the admissions office, we have our governmental affairs. We have our MSU Community Music School. We also have our college education. So for students who are in the seminar portion of the program, they do their student teaching in Oakland, Wayne, and Macomb County. So they have their seminar courses there as well. And then we also have our university advancement for alumni affairs.
Wow. So you guys got a lot of things going on in that building.
Yep.
Showing that MSU has a stake in the community, seriously.
Yes.
Because you guys are actually being active and not talking.
Yes.
So, so you said you've seen an uptick in applications from our community in the last 3 years since you guys been?
5 years.
5 years?
5 years.
Okay, so we got upticks. So that means we got more kids, multicultural kids that's at MSU. Share something about the kids that are going to school and then the finishing process.
Yes.
So what kind of tools, because we know we're able to get in school now, right, which is a great thing. Over the last 10 years, I saw some different numbers. Over the last decade, that more minorities are in universities, I think, especially women.
Yes.
Women are going all the way to get their masters and PhDs, so those numbers are looking good.
Correct.
So you guys are helping move numbers for the country, right? Because we are like now the 11th largest city, I think it is, in America, so we're still having an impact for our country. So what can parents do if you got a child that's first year going to 9th grade? What kind of things can they prepare?
I would say the first thing is tack on to anything that the guidance and counsel department is doing programming-wise throughout the school year. So just because your student is a freshman, don't be afraid to attend those meetings, get them involved, ask questions, and get information. Because, in terms of scholarships, you can start that whenever. Okay. You can never have enough scholarships. You always see advertised in the paper, kids with $100 million in scholarships.
They started early.
Right. So that's how you get to that goal. And then the other thing, here recently, a lot of the churches been stepping up. Some of the mega churches like Second Ebenezer, Greater Grace, Greater Emmanuel Institutional, they all have their own sanctioned college fairs that they do throughout the year. Okay. So depending on where they're faith-based, and we religion is taken up as far as the church organization, I would say looking there as a great opportunity as well, because they also have a lot of resources, and we're starting as a university, starting to partner with the different churches and other community-based organizations to help bridge a better gap outside of the school.
Okay, so 9th grade, mom, dad needs to lay the platform and start building those relationships with the counselors. Find out where those college fairs are.
Yes.
Find out if they're going to MSU. Hopefully they're going to MSU. You want MSU kids, right?
I promote education in general. Although I promote MSU, I promote education in general. So I believe that it's something about the actual college experience and being on campus that you can't get in any other medium. Okay. So I don't necessarily feel that college is for everyone. Okay. But personally, I do believe you should at least have that college experience for yourself as an individual, because it's not just what's in the classroom, it's also just the overall experience of being on a college campus. So I promote education in general because I would like to see as many people have an opportunity. So if I'm in the 9th grade and I want to go to MSU, I'm going to stick with MSU. Okay. I want to go to MSU. Do I write you a letter and say I'm interested in it? Do I, when you come, I got to make sure I find you when you get there, right? Absolutely. We get letter requests from middle schoolers, 9th graders, 10th graders all the time, asking for us to send materials directly, to them. They can join our mailing list, which will put them on track to receive any information about summer programs and pre-college programs that we do, where we bring students to campus during the summer as early as their 9th grade year, where they can stay for a week or 4 weeks just to have that college experience. Also attending college fairs. And then sometimes I do underclass visits where I might go and talk to a 9th or 10th grade English class or go to a middle school for a career day. Okay. So once again, I would say the guidance counselor at your school is the hugest resource in terms of being able to notify the student of those activities when I'll be coming to and from, because that's usually what I do the scheduling with, not coming to visit the school. So let's talk about the ACT, SAT. Absolutely. Let's focus on that. So I'm gonna start, because I want to start with 9th graders, right? So then they can have an opportunity, because sometimes it's like the stock market goes up, goes down, and goes up, because you got a lot of different things that happen, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade that can, make your grades go down, make your grades go up, things of that nature. What kind of things can you tell them about the ACT and SAT that they can get involved in? Well, with the ACT and SAT, you have the practice exams. So for the ACT, you have the plan, and then for the SAT, you have the PSAT, and for the ACT, you have the plan. So both of those practice exams, you can actually take them as early as 8th grade. So you don't have to wait to 9th grade, but that's kind of like a best kept secret, because depending on where you get your resource and output information from. Wait a minute, let's back up. Like certain things you got to say 3 times, right? Because if it's important like that, we need 3 times for our community to get it. Correct. So people that's writing this down, I'm hoping somebody's going to share this on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can start taking the practice exams. The practice exams for the SAT and ACT as early as 8th grade. Correct. Oh, wow. So where are those places that maybe, can you share that information with us? If you go to ACT.org or College Board, I believe .org or .com for the SAT, they have information on which they advertise about registration for the plan and the PSAT. Wait, so let's do that again. You said we can go where? ACT.org for the plan ACT, and then for SAT, it's collegeboard.org or collegeboard.com. So, we don't have any data in front of us, but based on your experience, the earlier you start learning how to take tests, the easier it is, or more comfortable you get? Yes, because it's about the actual taking of the test. So the more comfortable you are with taking the test in the time setting, the better contextual clues that you use to be able to get to the answer a lot quicker, and the process of elimination, like all those different tricks of the trade that help boost your score in terms of the time that it takes to answer the question. Okay. Those things you can kind of get out of the way by starting it earlier. Like a lot of times students wait till their junior year, and it's that pressure of, well, I got to get the score because I got to have it to be able to get in school. And the worst thing to do is to wait to start taking the ACT for the first time your senior year, because there's a lot goes on that senior year. You got your final year academically, you got the college processing, you got prom, you got homecoming, all the other things that's going on during your senior year. So it's very hard to try to focus in and really prepare for those exams. So that's why I'm actually glad that our state made it mandatory for students to take it as a junior as a part of the Michigan Merit exam, so they at least get one sitting with that, it's free because they don't have to pay for it. It was already a part of the process.
Okay.
So every junior within the state of Michigan is required to take the ACT when they take the Michigan Merit exam.
Okay. So we can start early as 8th grade.
Correct.
And that website is?
ACT.org for the plan ACT, which is the practice exam for the ACT. And for the SAT, it's collegeboard.org or collegeboard.com.
Okay. Parents, you hear this now. You know, and you know what? Guess what? We're not just talking about kids in Detroit. We're talking about kids in all urban areas, right? So we have the information. We got to use it. You know, we say we love our kids. So what is love? Love is education. Let's get educated, people. Let's get our kids enrolled 8th grade. Do you know how many kids we can get on track from 8th grade to 11th grade to get focused on how to take a test? And if you want your kids into a great college, we got to work at it. We got to get our kids enrolled, get our kids involved, and start 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade. They take it. Ooh, our kids will be cold. Now I heard, matter of fact, there's a girl in my program that scored so high on her SAT. She got a scholarship.
Yep, it's called the National Merit Scholars. That's something I believe the SAT does. So if you get a certain score or you get in a certain percentile, you automatically qualify for, I believe, like a $5,000 or $8,000 scholarship that you can utilize at any school across America by being a National Merit Scholar. And then there's also additional monies that the institution may provide you. By having that recognition as a National Merit Scholar.
Well, she's a National Merit Scholar, and she can go to any school she wants to go to in the state of Michigan, and she doesn't have to pay. And Daisy's just the nicest young lady that you could ever meet. She works very, very hard.
That's beautiful. That's
I just want to give her props.
That's beautiful.
So, okay, so now we got the preparation period. Now, let's dig in deep. How does one prepare for scholarships?
Essay writing, that's the key.
Really?
Essay writing. Practice writing essays. If you don't like to write, get in the habit, of writing professionally and being able to properly, cite things in your writing, talk about your experience in terms of your personal narrative, because a lot of scholarship applications may require some nominal essays. Like, for example, the Bill Gates Millennial Scholarship. It's a very popular scholarship because it pays for everything. If you get the Millennial Scholarship, it'll take you from your bachelor's to your master's, to your PhD, to post-doc fellows, whatever you want to do, it's all covered. And you get laptops, you get room and board, you get stipends. So if you get that, you pretty much set educationally for life. You can always go back and utilize those funds. So with that, I believe it's like maybe 8 or 10 essays you have to write.
Okay.
And I think the GPA minimum is a 3.0. I think I want to say around a 23 or 24 ACT. So the academic requirements is pretty nominal considering a lot of the students that are coming out with inflated GPAs because they're taking multiple AP exams, honors courses, and things like that. So for the average kid, academically, you can qualify. Where it constantly becomes a filtering out process is the essay writing, because not everybody wants to write 8 to 10 essays. So I would just say practice your essay writing. And then stacking scholarships, that's another issue I see a lot with our community, where when they apply for certain scholarships or when they be offered, it may be a smaller amount than what they're looking for. So the scholarship may be $500, it may be $1,500, it may be $750. But over time, those scholarships stack up. So if you get, $500 scholarships, that's $2,500.
Right.
So if you get one $25 scholarship, now you got $5,000. So it's like, don't be afraid.
For the little things. Don't go after all the big ones. Because sometimes the little things can train you up for the big things.
Right, correct.
And then you could always say, if I was getting scholarships from here, here, and here, I'm looking at your scholarships. I'm trying to wonder how come I got these $500 scholarships. I'm looking for this $5,000 board, and I got, I need that scholarship too.
Because every year, I think the government posts on the U.S. Department of Education a figure about how many scholarships go unused.
Wow.
So I believe it was something like last year, around like maybe $3 million or something like that in scholarship dollars they did not use just because people didn't apply, because they didn't know.
Okay, so let me ask this question. Do you know the website that we can find out so our young people can know? Because we got about 30,000 kids that watch this program, right? So we got kids that actually watch this program every weekend, right? So we want to make sure that those kids can get the information, and we can actually have one of our guys post it on the internet.
I don't know.
On our
Actually,
site website.
U.S. Department of Education website offhand, but I can say some scholarship websites. Fastweb.com. That's FASTWEB.com. Scholarships with an S, so scholarships.com. Collegeanswer.com. U as in university, upromise.com. And just anywhere, you know, where your parents work for any of the automotive industry companies, and they work for like Coca-Cola, Pepsi.
Wow.
A lot of those places offer scholarships sometimes. Internships, sometimes doing an internship can turn into a scholarship.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's lots of different ways.
So that volunteerism can move you a long way.
Yeah, AmeriCorps. If you go, I believe, AmeriCorps.gov or .com, and you volunteer with them, like maybe you do American Red Cross, or you go and do like a tutoring program for elementary school students. If you're in middle school or high school, you get like $1,000 to $2,000 stipend just by being involved with AmeriCorps, that you can apply anything to in terms of your financial aid.
Wow.
So there's lots of different ways, like I said.
We got to get the information out to our community.
Right. Just knowing the information, and then having the savvy and just the drive to be able to stay active with applying and staying in the know.
Because there's quite a few kids that say, you know, I want to go to school, but you know, my family doesn't have the funds to go to school, so then they get discouraged a little bit. So if they know that if there's millions of dollars unused, they need to tap into those millions of dollars so they can.
Absolutely. And just because of the information, we have so many different gatekeepers in this college application processing world and just scholarship world, that if you're not, you know, a friend, a family, an associate, or you're not attending this prestigious school.
We got a friend now. We got Brandon up in here. We got a friend.
Just missing out on the information.
You know, this is why diversity is so important.
Correct.
And sometimes people don't understand about diversity. And this is one way how having a diverse organization can help the community grow.
Correct.
And if you help your community grow by having a diverse organization, our country gets stronger.
Correct.
Our households are stronger.
Correct.
And we have an opportunity to leave legacies in every community by having diversity. Because if some of this information, like the 8th grade starting the pre-ACT or pre-SAT, right? Young people wouldn't have known that, right? So now all the kids can say, hey, you know what? We need to start, if they're in 11th grade and they got little brothers and sisters in 8th grade, we can start the pre-ACT or SAT now.
Correct.
That's why diversity is so well, because you can bring back information to our community and we can grow. That's a good thing. It started with MSU. Okay, we have new guests in the station. In the building, we have Ms. Phillips, the grand principal at the wonderful, beautiful, strong Cass Technical High School. And we have Kawante, your regular 1 o'clock host, is in the building, with Brandon, Mr. MSU, who's admitting young people from urban areas and to college. And he's changing and shaping our future of our cities and our state, and changing America at the same time. Because since he's been there, our numbers are moving forward to get more young people, minorities in schools and to MSU. But we have to say thank you to Ms. Phillips, because you have a great ongoing program that's been growing forever at Cass Tech. So this is the first time you've been to our station.
I love it.
That actually came into conception last April, and we got it done fairly quickly. We've been actually in this building since we've been in this building since June of last year. So we got started, and this is where we are. So Kawante has been like the #1 guy, right? He's excited. He's up early. He calls me early in the morning for school. He's up late. His mom called and jumped on me for a minute and beat me up in the car and said, "What's going on? I just need to know." And I said, "Well, you know, he's doing a good job, and he's not communicating with me. I want you to tell me what's going on." So I told her what's going on, and she wanted to cry.
That's right.
She was so excited about her baby and what her baby been doing. But, you know, he has a great foundation from the Cass Tech High School in Detroit, Michigan.
Right in the center of downtown.
Definitely.
So you guys have a large number of graduates every year.
Yes.
So let's talk about that.
Well, CT, number one, second to none. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for inviting me here. I'm honored, Keontae, that you would even think enough of your principal.
Why not?
Because, they think principals, just stuff you stay in the office.
Yeah, don't do that.
And I am, right, I'm active, and I do it because I love what I do. So I want to thank you for thinking enough of me. And I want to thank you because, Mr. at work, you are so professional, so I'm looking at you in a t-shirt and all relaxed. But to get to the high graduation rate that we do have at Cass Tech, our students walk in the door ready for the challenge. Not all. We have some that we have to really uplift and keep them encouraged. But the main focus is on our student population to make sure that they achieve. And I try to stress to the teachers, all decisions that we make must be in the best interest of students. It's not about us. Right. We have ours, we've done it, we've been there, we have degrees. Our job, every day when we walk into that building, is to make sure students are number one. And we're not perfect, but we're close to it. And when our students feel and they know that we really believe in them, we can get them to do just about anything educationally.
Right.
So in the end, we hold up that carrot, and that is a scholarship, college. And if you don't choose those roads to go to college, whatever you want to do when you leave Cass Tech, you have a purpose. You know what it is you'd like to do. So I don't want any student graduating from that school trying to figure it out in June. They should know 2 years prior to graduating.
So when I'm coming to Cass, I'm there every Thursday, and it's like a village, right? So the teachers are collaborating with each other. They're spending time with the kids. I hear kids come to the school and say, I'm having this problem, and they talk through it with them. That's a great thing. So can you share some of the leadership skills that you use to
I have an open door policy. And if you walk into my office, it's not always for discipline. They come in there and we talk turkey. We talk about relationships, fashion. They will keep me in tune. Yeah, they'll come in there and make sure I'm in order. Ms. Phillips, what happened today? You need to spruce this up a little bit. And I accept it. I'm okay with that. But my open door policy is about life. Okay. You don't have to come in there because you are in trouble. Sometimes you just want to come in there and just talk to me about what should be the next step. What I found out is that some seniors, quite a few seniors, are nervous about leaving high school. They're not really ready for what college. They're ready academically, but that being on your own, responsibility, making decisions that are good decisions, some are not really ready. So you can come into my office at any time. Parents as well, they're welcome. My door is 24/7. Some people say that I should stop that. You should stop, close your door, and have quality time for yourself. But my quality time is okay, spending that with students.
So that's part of your behavior now.
When teachers see that I have the open door policy, you lead by example. Then they say, well, okay, she can do it, we do it. So I don't model anything I model everything that I expect others to do. And students will stop me in the hall. We just stopped the other day. I think the conversation was about Jay-Z and Beyonce, and they were explaining some things to me and that I didn't know. And because I was dancing to some song, I was just, the beat. Moment, I like the beat. And they said, well, Ms. Phillips, you can't just move to every song. So we had a discussion about the music and everything that I didn't know. So they keep me current.
Keep it with the culture.
As a matter of fact, I was talking to Ms. Phillips a couple of weeks ago about cooking loans opportunity. So we talk about a lot of things other than just discipline, action. So it's
getting them jobs now. I want my kids to have jobs, and I say my kids, my children, while they're in school now. We can give tons of scholarships to students, but students need finances just to get to the university.
Right.
That's a bus ticket to pay for just to a luggage. They need comforters. They need personal items just to get them to the university. So I try to help them to become employed way before they graduate.
Okay, so you have a number of applications now, more so than you did prior to. They're growing from Cass Tech Northern High School too.
Yes. Well, we have a rich history with Cass Tech. Michigan State and Cass Tech has a partnership that's been well before I was in position of doing what I've been doing, but it has grown even more just because of the personal touches we made to the school. I believe 2 weeks ago we were there speaking to they're 9th grade students who are all 4.0 or better.
Wow.
And so we were just touching base with them. Myself and my associate director, Mr. John Ambrose, was there speaking with the students. So
John's a great guy.
oh yeah.
So I just want the audience to know about the assets that we have in our great city of Detroit and some of the surrounding areas, because oftentimes people get the wrong picture painted about our community. So Michigan State had opportunity to meet kids that had 4.0s or better, you say?
Yes, sir.
I just need to get that because I just got educated on. We have a young lady that does a show here from 3 to 4 that has a 4.6.
Correct.
And I'm
Is it Candace?
Yes, Candace. And I was, when
I
he
explained that earlier. That's the AP, IB program, all that type of stuff.
So
they get extra points.
we have intellectual capital in the city of Detroit.
Correct.
And our newscasters need to go out and bring that out and plug that out so people around the world and around the country can know it's not all doom and gloom in our community.
Shameless plug, I believe it was about 40 or 50 students. So shout out to Miss Keisha Boyd, their compact coordinator that's over there.
CT.
She's the one who coordinate that effort for us to come and speak to those 4.0 students.
Wow.
In all fairness, can I say this?
Absolutely.
AP classes are offered at all Detroit public schools,
Okay.
all DPS high schools.
Okay.
Let's see, East English.
Mhm.
Give me some more, because I'm having a
Renaissance.
senior moment.
Renaissance.
East,
Everywhere.
Northwestern. So
Northwestern,
we have AP
Southeastern.
students
Mhm.
at CMA.
Okay.
Correct.
They're in all of the high schools.
Okay.
But we have the greatest number because we are the largest high school in the city of Detroit,
Mhm.
2,300. So,
Wow.
but we are leading, but everyone has great students in their schools. I will say that. I was principal at Pershing,
Okay.
assistant principal at Finney, at Cody. So I loved, wherever I work, I love all my kids.
Okay. So we got leadership in the room, in the building. We're gonna take a break. Brandon, I know you have to be on your way. I appreciate you coming. You're welcome back. Next
Anytime.
month.
Anytime.
We want you to come back, and we'll have some questions, and maybe we can do a question and answer session with some young people that want to come to MSU. And I think that'd be great. And I appreciate you sharing, because a lot of young people that come here have younger brothers and sisters that are in the 8th grade. Because I think that was the kicker right there. If you can start learning how to take a test, the earlier you learn how to take the test, the better you are, you're more comfortable. And then knowing about the essay writing skills, I think that's great. I'm going to talk about that all day long. I'm serious, because when I put this up on Facebook and our social medias, I have to do a recap after the show.
Right.
So those are the key points that I got out of our conversation. And that you're a great person. But I got that out of our conversation, that we need to make sure that we start our kids in the 8th grade taking those tests, ACT, SAT. Make sure that we work with them with the writing skills, right?
Correct.
Got that? And love MSU. All right? What is it? Go green, go white? Isn't that
Go
what we're
green,
doing?
go
Go
green.
white. And
Okay.
together people say go Spartans.
Go Spartans.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we're there,
Yeah.
right? And then, Quante's been accepted to MSU.
I'll be in the fall.
So he's doing media. So we're gonna look at some media information for him. And he's doing a financial segment now for 15 minutes every week that he's on. So he's getting his financial because he wants to go to school to be a finance major. So we're shaping molding for you. All we need you to do is do what you're doing, capture them, and take them to where we gotta go.
Well, that's
4 years, we want to be finished. We don't want to go for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. We want 4 years. We want to finish and go beyond with MSU.
All right. Well, one more time, thank you guys for having me. Salute to Cass Tech, Principal Phillips, her whole staff. A special shout out to Ms. Reddy and Ms. Johnson. They've been working with me for the last 5 years that I've been recruiting there. So I really appreciate them. Shout out my partners, John Ambrose, my associate director, Irish Van Buren, and the whole MSU-Detroit Center staff. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thanks. Thank you.